This is Adrian Hart with your Southeast Colorado news on seconews.org. We're at the La Junta KOA as they're getting the delivery of their latest resto mod project. This 1954 Vistadome train car. You can see they've had to contract multiple cranes. It takes a couple cranes to get this job done. Some heavy lifting going on in La Junta as we're getting a new landmark today, or rather a new attraction for the junction. Kind of giving you guys a view of the cranes. Pretty big deal, 84 feet long and over 80,000 pounds. They said counting the trucks between 80 and 88,000 pounds. This 1954 Vistadome, one of 126. This one's the Lounger model, so it's got the upper level of trim. This is going to be the only one in the country refurbished to be a camper here at the La Junta KOA. Took a whole lot of maneuvering, multiple semi-trucks to get everything in here. We're going to keep wandering around the scene here. This crane company actually specializes in moving rail cars and train equipment. Pretty cool stuff. I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty popular live stream. So just on the other side, they're moving the trucks. Brad Patterson and his crew here at La Junta KOA have set up some railroad tracks, wanting it to be nice and authentic. This Vistadome sleeper car will actually sit on a set of tracks they've constructed. Lots of that going on here in Southeast Colorado this week. You're good? I know I'm doing my job right when they say get out of here. Multiple cranes being used. We can try circling around the other way, try to get you a shot of those trucks. They got to set the trucks down on the railroad tracks before they get the rail cars set up. Left foot before the right foot and whatnot. Brad said the Vistadome was actually designed with hooks on each end, so it's easy for them to hook onto it. They don't have to wrap all the way around it. He was telling me before I went live that they're going to split it into two cabins. They'll put a soundproof wall, 6-inch soundproof wall, right down the middle of the Vistadome there, so that each cabin will have some dome space for a sleeper under the stars, if you will. Yeah, a very fancy camper they're going to build here. Much like the caboose. They've transformed the old McDonald's birthday party caboose into a camper out here. The air conditioner's out, but they're going to be repairing that tomorrow. They've been having some difficulty in finding time to work on the camper still because it's so popular, it's being booked. We're going to circle around and I'll show you guys these trucks. We're at the very back end of the KOA. So it looks like they've got one of them down. This is an interesting angle. So yeah, they're going to split it into 2 cabins and it'll be available to rent here at the Junta KOA. Pretty cool stuff. They're gonna have a pretty nice view, actually. The little crooked arroyo back here. Didn't know that wraps here between Creekside Smokehouse and the Junta KOA. We're gonna stand back a little bit here. Getting a little too close here. Quite the attraction being unloaded here at Junta KOA. This Vistadome is rather rare. Brad Patterson, the owner, told us that it actually, there's 126 of them that they made. It's very cool. They're keeping the train theme rolling. Very fitting for La Junta. See the rail on the ground just over where Brad and crew are standing. That's where these trucks are going to go. Getting the chain set up there. chained up there. All right, Matt Russell says he's running the crane. That's pretty cool. We're going to circle back around and see what Matt's doing on this other side. There we go, we got liftoff. That wind noise. Come on now.
Tonight, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's on the way over.
Local Malcolm Muth is going to provide some welding services. He's got to weld a plate that's actually going to connect the trucks to the train car. So Brad always good about using. Here, speak of the devil.
Sorry, I was looking at the placement.
What?
I was just looking at the placement that you're talking about.
I can roll this, you really.
No, we get a roll stop sign and we'll make it work right now. Because it's just in case we have to move it a little bit here. Yeah. That's why we have the chain. Because it's easier to move the chain than it is to
Give me the easy side.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I tell you what, there ain't that easy to play. We
see who I'm dealing with over here? Marty. You see who I'm dealing with? Marty.
Can we take pictures of it for Steve? He said they should sit right in there.
Oh, good.
So he said, but whether you're going to lock it in place with pin or not, that's debatable. He said, but it should fit down in there.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I
we'll
had
watch
gone
it.
back and forth with him on that instead of doing, some kind of data.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I mean, if we have to do something last minute, we can. All of us prefer not to. But I have.
Hey, bud, if you're gonna walk around,
Yeah, 'cause I took pictures of
walk
it.
over here and
He's
talk.
been on the spinner, and he said that one's smaller, so it should fit in
Yeah,
there.
that one.
See how close we are to the rail car and how close we are to the embankment? Just watch out for
Yeah.
Should fit in there.
Yeah.
My only concern was when I was doing the up place on this seems to be about going into the and these here will be right up. Is that all of them? I did have my pickup over there for welding stuff over there. You guys right.
It fit. Yeah, I mean, idea how bad like the Nervous trucks they didn't get on there.
Until I'm tired, I text a message, please call me, and then I put the phone up to my ear. Hey, Bruce. And then can you bring us one of those Getting some good video there.
I am.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Why don't you tell us about your new project here, Brad?
Well, it's very big.
It's very big.
It's very heavy.
Yes.
And it's very expensive.
Yep.
That's all you need to know.
There you go. So come see it for yourself.
The
Junta
1954 Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Vistadome car that will soon be lodging you. That doesn't sound right.
There
That's
you
like
go.
throwing them off a.
It will be dual
You will
lodging.
be lodging in.
Yes.
Lodging and lounging.
Sleeping under the
Sleeping
stars.
under the stars. Yep.
Right here in London.
Yeah. And it'll
so-
be the only Vistadome car in the country that you can sleep in.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So they only did 126 of these originally. right?
246.
240.
But you were close.
I was close.
Yeah,
Okay.
you were within 1,000.
It's not my collector's item, so this is a little bit bigger than anything I've collected. So speaking of collecting, this is not the only rail car you've got.
No, we've got a 1928 Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe caboose.
Okay, and it's like ready to sleep in right now.
It is. We got just a little bit more work. I'd say we're 97% done.
Okay.
But yeah, we have people staying in it, and they're loving it.
All right, very cool.
Loving it.
Yep.
All right, buddy. We'll get you out of the area.
All right. When you get out of the area.
Yeah. That's when I know I'm doing the job right. So there we go. We'll forego the interview. We'll work our way back through all the heavy equipment here. Make sure you get a nice view here. Come right over here to the other side. See where they moved Brad to. Here he comes. That wind.
Need me to sign a waiver? Just signing a waiver.
I tried to stall on the live stream as long as I could because this job is not a short and easy job. Oh, Brad. They've been at it for a couple days now. So back to your Vistadome, sourced rather locally out of Alamosa.
From a good bankruptcy.
Okay, from a good bankruptcy. Okay, so you were able to obtain this at auction.
Yep.
So very cool. I hope it fetched, well, I hope you've got a good price on it. It's always nice when the buyer gets a good deal.
So
they had a couple of these though, right?
Yeah, they had two of these, except the other one didn't have any dome glass. And the dome glass alone, to replace it's $30,000. Because
right.
it's double, it's 2 layers of glass and it's all curved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so each piece would have to be custom.
Thank you.
So yeah, save $30,000 by buying one with the dome still intact. So we'll say that's a good buy. We can see they've got the welding rig here on scene. He'll be doing some custom welding to secure it in place. Don't want it rolling down those long rails you got it sitting on.
Yeah. Well, it has to go about 5 feet before it falls off.
Okay, so we got about 90 foot of rail underneath, 84 foot of rail car.
I'll be directly, but maybe in my truck. Need a pin?
I do. Thank you.
Is this the excitement you've been waiting for?
One of them. Yeah.
One of them?
The other one's to say hi to Ruth for the day.
Oh,
That's my excitement
very
every
excited,
time.
Very excited.
Exactly. It's a Vistadome train car from 1954. They're going to refurbish it into 2 separate cabins available for folks to rent here at Junta KOA. They'll be the only one in the country. So that's pretty impressive. Yeah, if you can see, there are some electrical lines kind of in the way here. They're having to work around those.
They really don't have to. They don't have to.
Oh yeah, the airframe. Right. Yeah.
Malcolm, I got one.
Yeah, I don't have. I just got a truck.
Pretty cool stuff. See our crane operator standing by. It's kind of like one of those Airstream campers, only rather large. 84 foot long, 80,000 pounds. A lot of rail car. See those large counterweights for the crane. A little bit of crowd of onlookers here at the KOA. Doesn't happen too often. Kind of waiting for them to lift her up.
I was back there, yeah. I was pushing the trucks into place. The bomb was oh yeah? Did you eat lunch today? Yeah? You have breakfast? You had what?
Are we close? Are we close?
Like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
2 or 3 minutes out here, so no, we don't have any time to interview anybody else on scene. We're gonna talk with Brad some more. He says they're ready. So we've been just kind of hanging out, waiting for this moment.
Yeah, we need to set up like my phone.
There. He's nodding. Let's take a look. We can see the crane operators can see each other.
Yeah, that'd be great. Then just take it to the office and walk it and take the keys into the office. All right, thanks, Bob. Okay, bye.
Of course, their plan is to convert it into a cabin. They'll put a wall right down the center of the Vistadome, if you will. It's like we're moving. Use the wind. Now they're only going to have to lift it high enough to clear the trucks rather, get it on its wheels. And if you look directly above me, I'm going to kind of move over here. You can see those electrical wires, and they've got about maybe 5 foot of space to maneuver here. So earlier we were listening to the crane crew's concerns, but they think they can squeeze it on in, so they'll lift it just about 5 feet and then move it over and set her down. And Mr. Muth will step up and weld it in position. Pretty cool tourist attraction for La Junta. The opportunity to sleep under the stars right here at La Junta KOA. If you haven't seen their McDonald's caboose, you should come check it out. I'm going to get a tour. We might do a live stream for that. Pretty neat. Cool idea, and one project done. Had to convince the wife that he was crazy, so Brad bought another project, this time more than twice the size. Oh, here we go. Said with the trucks, it's somewhere between 80 and 88,000 pounds. So 10% of leeway there. It is heavy. And they're moving on over. Looks like they still have a couple feet of clearance between those power lines. They're coming over. See the gap there. And they're lined up. This end here with the door, you can see that that dome isn't exactly in the middle. One side's longer than the other. This side actually the back end of the train car. You can see Brad there getting his pictures. Coming down. Coming back down. guy just loves it. I think this is a way, maybe. Here we go. Yeah, something different.
Been talking about this thing for months.
Yeah, he has been telling me about this thing for probably 2 years, year and a half. As soon as he was putting in that caboose.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody yet. But this is not the last project we're gonna do. Pretty big project here at Junta KOA.
Yeah, that was definitely a lot big.
Yeah, it is. He's gonna have to replace some glass. Thankfully, as he mentioned earlier, all the glass on that dome still in great shape. Estimated to cost about $30,000 to replace were that glass broken. So that's expensive glass.
Yeah.
Vintage from 1954. You just can't get that blue tint like that.
Yeah.
So there you go, Ruth Ann. You got to be my local eye interview.
Oh, okay. All righty then.
All right.
Oh, am I going to be a star now?
Usually a couple thousand people watch these. Pretty cool stuff. Looking good, Brad.
I could see they get it in position, it's all set, and then they hit the wire with a crane.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Putting away the big toys. More money in crane rental and transporting this than most people's project car maybe. Very cool resto mod project here in La Junta. One of a kind in the country once it's converted into a sleeper cabin. It'll have dual occupancy. They were talking about whether or not to add a doorway in between the two so it'd be available to rent the whole thing or two separate units. So there we go. Resting at Crooked Arroyo Lane here at the La Junta KOA. This 1954 Vistadome lounge train car. Pretty awesome. There we go. They're putting the cranes away. And my phone's ringing.
I didn't get inside yet.
There you go. I'm glad you're obliged.
So
there.
it's set for about 13 years in Alamosa.
Yeah.
Very cool.
10 to 15. Same trucking company hauled it from Nebraska up there.
Oh, really?
Hauled all these cars up there. They sat for 10 to 13 years. The company went bankrupt. Now I sold them. Back over the mountain.
There we go. Relocated to its new home at La Junta KOA.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say in closing, Brad?
Adrian, it's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much, Brad.
You're welcome.
Like I told my audience, I know I'm doing the job right when I get told I have to move.
Yeah, constantly.
There we go. Thank you for
Thanks,
bearing with
Adrian.
me. So, of course,
We'll connect with you on the caboose when we get it completely done.
yeah, we'll give you guys the grand tour right here on Seco News, and we'll keep you guys updated on this Resto Mod project here at the La Junta KOA.
Everybody's like, what the hell's Resto Mod? It's Adrian's cool term.
It's a car industry term is what it is.
Huh?
you restore it, you put modern technology on it,
Okay.
like your penny floor.
So this would
I don't
be-
know if that counts as,
This would be Resto Rail.
there you go.
Yeah.
Resto Rail project, this 1954 Vistadome will soon be sleeping families visiting La Junta.
That's right.
Thanks for doing it, Brad.
Hey, thanks you.
All right. For Brad Patterson, I'm Adrian Hart at the La Junta KOA with your Southeast Colorado news on